Amber. I am a teaching artist with the Metau Arts, a nonprofit out of Twisp, Washington. You might have seen the pencil video where we draw and learn how to use a pencil, holding it differently to get different effects and different lines. Well, we're going to use those skills we practiced by doing more lines today, but these lines, we're going to create a piece of art of a person's head with crazy hair. Okay, so all we're going to need for this lesson is a piece of paper and a pencil. Not this giant of a pencil, you can just use a regular pencil. And this video also has a part 1, which is just drawing, practicing lines with crazy hair. Part 2 is focusing on adding more pattern and more line and repetition in that hair. So you can do the shorter part or you can stay for part 2. All right, so go ahead and push pause, grab a pencil and a piece of paper, and we will get started. Okay, so when we did the pencil video, we did all these crazy different lines. Remember that? We did some scribbly lines, sharp, fat, thin, cross-hatching, scribbly, dots, dashes, and then we also did the value section. We are going to do something with those kinds of lines and maybe some more lines for this video. So all you need is a piece of paper and a pencil ready, maybe an eraser. And the first thing we're going to do is down here at the bottom is we're going to draw an oval or a circle or something like that. Okay? And this is going to be a face. So I'm going to put 2 eyes, some eyeballs. This project's more about what's going on up here, so I'm not going to spend very much time on the face. Here's a nose. Maybe I'll have a big smiley mouth. Maybe I'll have an open smiley mouth. Okay, and you can put a neck and some shoulders if you have space. It's kind of a cartoony person. All right, so out of this person's head, we're going to take our pencil and we're going to draw straightest line as we can all the way up the top of our paper. And once you get up to the top, we're going to move our pencil over and we're going to leave a little space, and then sometimes you got to hold your paper. Draw a line all the way back down to the head. Sometimes it's easier to draw a line towards you, and sometimes it's easier to draw a line away from you. You can see which one feels better. So now I have 2 lines coming out of his head. I'm going to do one more line. Whoa. So now I have these silly lines coming out of the top of his head. Now let's do some zigzag lines, these zigzag lines. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to go zigzag, zig, zag. They're sharp lines, right? I'm kind of going at an angle and I'm going to go off the end of my paper. So I'm zigzagging from the top of the head off to one side. It's like stair steps. But if I do another one next to it and leave a little space, it looks like a double zigzag line, which also kind of looks like lightning. Let's do 3 of those. Can you follow the shapes that you drew before? It takes practice to do that. So anytime if I'm going too fast, just go ahead and pause. Okay, so I have some straight lines, I have zigzag lines. Let's draw some bumpy lines on the other side. For this, I'm going to turn my paper so it's easier. And I'm going to come from the top of the head here and go bump, 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 all the way off, and you guessed it, I'm going to do it again. I'm just practicing these bumpy lines. And this is going to be crazy hair coming out of this person's head. All right, and I'm going to turn it back so now look at my person's hair. That's crazy, huh? Okay, so what other lines did we practice? I really liked the scribbly lines. Let's do some of that. So where should we do that? How about we come down from the top here and we go scribble, scribble, scribble. Tight little scribble lines. Let's do one this way. And then come to the other side and scribble, scribble, scribble. Do you notice we're kind of making patterns? We're making lines and patterns coming out of this person's head. There's another line that's kind of like a scribble. It's more like a loop-de-loop. So they're looser scribbles. So let's come out of this one. We're going to go straight for a little bit and loop. Straight for a little bit and loop. Straight, loop. It's going to curve around. Loop-de-loops. Sometimes that line is easier to pull down as well. So we can come over here, and if you do it from the top, it's kind of like doing the number 6. Look, 6, and then I loop it down. It's like doing 6s that are never ending. All right, super crazy hair. Let's just practice some fat lines. So I'm going to use the side of my pencil, and I'm going to hold it differently. And let's just come down here and make some big swooping crazy hair lines from the bottom. So the hair is getting swooped up with big fat lines. I use the whole side of my pencil to make these lines. All right, so we've got swoopy lines, we've got fat lines. Let's do some dashes. So dashes is where you draw the little line, you pick your pencil off the paper, draw a little line. So you're leaving a little dash. Like when you drive down the road and you see the lines in the middle of the road, they're little dashes. That's what we're drawing, little dashes. You can do a couple lines of dashes wherever you can fit it in. I know that we all have probably a little bit different art happening here. So if I did dashes on this side, maybe let's put dots on this side. I'm going to turn my paper. I'm just going to go dot, 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 dot. So this is just a way to practice some silly lines and make it however you want. You can add some more bumps here or zigzags. You just kind of want to fill in, making the lines that you like to make. And then it looks like crazy hair coming out. See, I did those bumps that way and I'm doing these bumps this way. And that's it. Crazy hair. Now if you want to stick around for part 2, we'll turn this crazy hair into something a little more complicated. We'll add some more patterns. All right? If not, thanks for joining us. All right, so part 2 of crazy hair. We've started getting some lines, different kinds of lines filled in, and now we can put patterns in our lines. So you can use color if you want, but it's nice to just start with your pencil. And everywhere where you have a double line, you have an opportunity to put different kinds of patterns there. I also have a lot of space here I could do something with. So I'm going to start down here, and I'm just going to fill in with vertical stripy lines. So if I put stripy lines there, what kind of pattern could I put here? I could fill it all in, and make it a solid, really fat line pattern. If I wanted to, or you can put little circles. I'm sure you guys have heard of Zentangles before. It's really just filling in patterns, repeated patterns and shapes into spaces and filling up the space. So it's really busy with pattern. So this is going to take you a while to fill everything in, but it doesn't have to be complicated. I can just break up this zigzag by adding little chunks to where it's points and dips, and I'm just going to work this way around my art, filling things in and adding pattern. Let's see. Ooh, I could put triangles in this shape. I'm just seeing what shapes fit. Oh, what's going to fit there? Maybe I'll put like a moon shape there. And then we can put little dots in here if you want. So you could do this project as more of a self-portrait and make your hair unique to you just by filling in shapes. So I can put double lines and then skip and do a double line. Do you see how much busier it's getting over here compared to this side? And I have this really bold line. Maybe I need another bold line up here. Maybe I'll fill in this. And then I have these stripes up here, and I kind of want to do something with those. What should we put there? How about we do... I'm going to fill in little rectangles up one side, and then I'll do little half circle shapes on this side. So maybe I'll just do a repeating pattern like that. You might have space for something different. When you practice lines and patterns and shapes, your hand gets stronger and your hand gets memory of how to draw things better and better. It's practice. Practice for learning how to write better or draw better. So if you're not sure what to draw when you sit down, something like this is a great exercise. Just draw some lines and start putting shapes and patterns in there. And you never know what's gonna pop out. All right, so why don't you keep working on this? I'm going to fast forward to the end of mine because yours is going to look different than mine anyways, but you get the idea of filling in pattern all the way across. And so go ahead and keep working on it, and then I'm going to skip to the end and show you how mine turned out.